Oh, man. Yeah, oh, you guys are going to learn a lot tonight.
My name is Brandon. I'm freshly showered.
I go to Hollywood parties, or, you know, occasionally I go to Oscar parties and things like that. And people, big stars, people will grab me by the arm and take me aside and say, I just want to thank you for the things you say. And it blows my mind, but that's the culture. It's a culture of fear for sure. You know, and it's a big culture of mind control too. MK Ultra mind control rules in Hollywood. If you don't know, Google that and look into it. It's all one big friggin' mafia scam. I mean, I'll probably get assassinated or droned when I'm out of here, but it's all a scam, a tired effing scam. That's a huge question that involves trafficking and mind control and drug addiction and being molested when you're That involves patriarchal analysis too. So I don't think you have time for that one.
As with the Bryan Singer allegations, the most upsetting thing here is how much access these people in Hollywood have to young children that are entrusted to these people on the set. And I think it will make a lot of people look at the types of protections that are in place, especially on sets involving children. Yeah.
These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
Ladies and gentlemen, free and independent.
You're listening to Controversy Radio with your hosts, Jesse and Celicia.
And this is 2020 Friday. It's an amazing story you won't want to miss.
There's only 6 studios, man. There's only 6 agencies, man. This is a small, controlled thing.
Here,
Hi.
I drew you a picture.
You drew this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-oh, the tape thing is not.
Oh, the thing. Well, this is not holding it, but this is great. You actually drew this yourself?
Yeah, I got a picture off the internet. There's a lot of stuff about you on there, you know.
There is?
Yeah. No, it's good. You know, it's not like bad stuff. No.
That's a small club, man. It's a weird place to be. Ain't really no going back. You can't get unfamous. You can get infamous. Right. But you can't get unfamous.
Right.
I was gonna put you like in a little tutu or something, but you know.
Really?
No, I wasn't going
Is that what the picture on the internet had?
No.
Oh.
No.
Wow, I didn't know there was a camera there.
Yeah.
When that was happening.
No.
How old are you?
I'm 12, turning 13, April 3rd. Yay!
Yay!
Teenager!
My dad was verbally and physically abusive to me as a child. I need to tell the truth about my dad. He called me ugly as a child and then asked me if I wanted to have sex with him, and I did not know how to respond, and I said no, and then I was forced to live with my dad, which was a total nightmare. My dad fondled himself in front of me so many times that I started recording him on my phone in hopes of catching him.
How old is your sister?
She's 16.
Really? Does she date yet?
No. She she likes guys, but my dad says she can't date till she's 35.
Your dad in show business? You say he knows that?
No, well, he likes to do comedy, and so, you know, I've always liked doing comedy, so, you know, he would...
What does he do for a living?
He's a dentist.
Oh,
so he
and
makes
who doesn't
people
love
laugh.
a funny dentist?
Yeah!
They seem pretty easygoing. Were your folks strict when you were growing up?
They actually were very strict.
Yeah.
In a good way, though. My parents never let me go to the mall alone or with friends. I had to go with my parents.
Oh, with friends? You couldn't even go with friends?
I couldn't even go with friends.
Saying or doing something inappropriate around me so I could get him arrested and put in jail for the rest of his perverted life. My mom knows that my father is literally and physically incestual towards his own daughter, And the fact that she never called the police on him embarrasses me to no end. So today, I am meeting with a lawyer to get a restraining order against my dad. I cannot hear the sound of his incestually charged voice ever again, and I'm just being honest. I will not be manipulated or brainwashed by anyone anymore.
If your father was my father, exactly, like then you would understand why you want to slit his wrist.
I like your dad.
You probably get along.
I would get along.
From what I'm hearing, she doesn't even get along with Dr. and Mrs. Bynes, which I thought that she did, and they were just being negligent.
Amanda Bynes took to Twitter Friday morning and stunned the world when she accused her father, Rick Bynes, of sexually abusing her. The actress alleged that her dad fondled himself in front of her and even asked her to have sex with him. A series of accusations that follow closely on the heels of a string of bizarre behavior.
Right, well, he's the bad guy.
Yeah, he'll do that.
Yeah, my mom's the good guy in the family, well, the good girl, whatever. But, you know, my mom would let her, I think my mom would let her date. Well, I don't know if she would let her, but it's kind of nice that my dad says no, so your dad says no.
Do you want to date yet?
Because I know that is like unfortunate, but it's not because it's like my father, because I look at him as like a murderer person.
Okay. As you can see, that's where I got my love of comedy from my funny dad, so,
right.
And my beautiful mom.
And
so,
how long have they been married?
40 years. They just celebrated their 40.
Wow, 40 years.
Amanda's mom, Lynn Bynes, is now speaking out about the alarming allegations. I am heartbroken today for my husband of 47 years. Lynn's attorney, Tamar Armanek, tells E! News in a statement on her behalf, Rick has been the best father and husband a family can ask for. He has never abused Amanda or our children, physically or sexually.
And so, like, I gotta just keep up. Like, I'm gonna continue telling you guys I'm gonna murder my family, like, because that's the thing. Like, they're in control of my money, and that's why I don't have much money right now. Like,
Your dad once wrote me a joke, and I sent him a check.
Yeah, in 1993, I was 7. My dad, actually, who was a dentist for a long time, submitted a joke to you, and you actually told it on the air. My dad taped it. He happened to tape it, and my dad has the check
I sent him a
here.
check for $50.
John, get a mic. Go over there. John. Hey, Dad.
The police filed a report against my dad. I am not able to be in the same room with him. He is a sexual predator, and he should be in jail.
Hey, Amanda, so can I ask you about your father, though? Your father showing his penis to you, though.
My father should be put in jail for a very long time.
Why?
Right, okay,
Yeah,
my
so
dad.
he's got it all covered.
He's very skilled.
I'm so glad to be out of my parents' care and no longer trapped in their house. They're living off my money, and they don't care about me. They don't have my best interests at heart. I hate my parents. I want to be as far away from my father as possible. I still talk to my mom, but I hate my dad, and I want nothing to do with him.
I woke up that night from a blackout to find myself having sex with my own father.
It's it's not a docile environment. It's a challenging environment.
Yes. I don't remember how it started, or thankfully how it ended. Was it the first time? Had this happened before? I didn't know, and I still don't.
Do you ever regret saying that you had a relationship with your father?
Your father is supposed to protect you. Your father is supposed to protect you, not you.
I don't regret speaking out about incest because there are so many people who feel that they don't have a voice about this, about incest.
You started out the same way I did. I understand that you started out at the Laugh Factory. Are you a stand-up comedian?
Yeah, well, my dad saw an article that kids could do a comedy camp at the Laugh Factory.
This lady has so much heart. This lady has more heart than Jordan and Johnson put together. When she steps on the stage, there's a lot of future there.
So it was for 6 weeks or something. Arsenio Hall came on.
Arsenio Hall is fighting back tonight after singer Sinead O'Connor blamed him for the death of Prince.
Sinead O'Connor is making damning allegations about the music icon's history with drugs. In a Facebook post, O'Connor says, 2 words for the DEA investigating where Prince got his drugs over the decades. Arsenio Hall.
Arsenio Hall here, one of your brothers in late night.
Comedian and actor Arsenio Hall isn't laughing about a recent Facebook post by singer-songwriter Sinead O'Connor.
Sinead O'Connor, May 2nd, about Arsenio Hall. 2 words for the DEA investigating where Prince got his drugs over the decades. Arsenio Hall, aka Prince's and Eddie Murphy's, and the news censored that word, but we're gonna fill it in. We're gonna think that it's most likely dealer. Arsenio Hall, aka Prince and Eddie Murphy's dealer. Anyone imagining Prince was not a long-time hard drug user is living in cloud cuckoo land. Arsenio, I've reported you to the Carver County Sheriff's Office. Expect their call. They are aware you spiked me years ago at Eddie Murphy's house. You best get tidying your man cave.
Hall and his lawyers fired back with a $5 million defamation lawsuit.
So she's on to something here. This probably has been going on for a while. But not Arsenio.
But here's the thing. Get off of Arsenio. Leave him alone. Just stop, Sinead. Really, honestly, that's ridiculous.
He would like critique your act.
Right.
And Richard Pryor came on.
Wow.
So that was really cool. He was so neat.
I snorted cocaine for about 15 years with my dumb ass. I must have snorted up Peru. I could have bought Peru all the shit I snorted. Could have just gave him the money up front and had me a piece of property.
It was so cool. I was like, wow, it's so neat to meet him, you know?
I started off snorting little tiny pinches. Said, I know I ain't gonna get hooked. Not on no coke, you can't get hooked. My friends have been snorting 15 years, they ain't hooked.
Please welcome. Really? That's even more amazing. 10-year-old Amanda Bynes.
Maybe I should have skipped that 13th candy bar.
Drinking enough Coca-Cola.
No, really?
Yeah.
You've got that caffeine
They made
kind
like
of
a
feel.
little, exactly. They made a rule for me that I can't have Coke after 3 o'clock, you know, like the cast members.
I can see why. But you're adorable.
Thank you.
You're adorable. Now you do. Yeah. Now I understand you do a little.
You can't tell nobody not to snort no coke, because motherfuckers gonna snort anyway. Took me a long time to learn. That shit'll kill you. Man, but the big booger came out of my nose, scared the shit out of me.
A few other people came on.
Right?
Yes.
The other day, I got a pimple. I'm not even a teenager yet, and I got a pimple. And that's not even the bad part. The bad part is I got it inside my nose. I mean, how do you pop a pimple inside your nose? I mean, what's the deal?
In addition to being a very addictive substance, cocaine is a vasoconstrictor. What that means is it shrinks the blood vessels that supply nutrients and oxygen to the tissues. Cocaine sits on the nasal membrane and it causes those blood vessels to shrink. As a result, the nasal membrane doesn't get the oxygen and the nutrients it needs, so that can cause damage.
And, yeah, this chair is kind of.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. And so it was really cool, and then there was like a graduation night, and that's where the producers of the show, like Brian Robbins and Dan Schneider, came on the show, and they saw me there. So
And that was it. You just got discovered right off of the comedy camp.
Yeah.
Amanda was added to the All That cast back in 1996 after being discovered by creator Dan Schneider at just 10 years old.
And it was almost like, I don't know, it was almost as if this was happening deliberately.
So let me live my own life free of unhappiness and misery. So call me what you want, but please don't call me crazy or insane, because that's a joke.
Acting insane. Last week, Playboy Radio offered Amanda Bynes a career as a radio host. What do you think she said?
You're ugly. You're ugly. Everybody's ugly.
More crazy Amanda Bynes news. This time she got kicked out of her gym class.
The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit.
I've known her for 6 years.
The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane. They were trying to get me to take psychotic medication.
I said, you know, I'm just here for you, and I have a great therapist that I recently started working with in Los Angeles. I just want to talk to somebody.
So, this was troublesome.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not taking this medicine, man, because I know these people be trying to control you or maybe discredit you.
And she said, I don't have a problem, and I'm retired. Stop talking about me.
It looks like Amanda Bynes is going to try and get some help. E! News has confirmed that the troubled actress, who landed in Los Angeles earlier today, arrived at Las Encinas Hospital in Pasadena, California this afternoon. The facility offers a wide range of behavioral health care treatment options are offered for patients with psychiatric, chemical dependency, or co-occurring disorders, according to its website. Bynes' parents, Rick and Lynn, were also seen pulling up to the treatment facility shortly after their daughter arrived.
And that's exactly what everyone has done, is call her crazy. She never got the help that she so desperately was screaming out for. My dad never did any of those things. The microchip in my brain made me say those things, but he's the one that ordered them to microchip me. Very strange.
Amanda Bynes was placed on an involuntary psychiatric hold because her parents and this guy, Sam Lutfi, some of you might remember that name, he was Britney Spears' manager. When she had her big nervous breakdown,
Right.
They tricked Amanda into going to the hospital and then, you know, put her under this hold.
I got released from the hospital that Sam Lutfi and my parents arranged to send me to because my dad is humiliated by what he's done.
There's different kinds of conservatorships. The one that Amanda's mom has is over her finances.
Because that's the thing, like, they're in control of my money, and that's why I don't have much money right now.
I was diagnosed bipolar and manic depressive. So I'm on medication and I'm seeing my psychologist and psychiatrist weekly, so I'm fine. Happy face.
A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows.
I don't want to shoot my father in the face, and that's why I said I want to, like, strip for him as a joke. I want to literally, like, lead him into a ditch. I haven't decided how I want to murder him, because now I have this, like, war wound on my face, and I don't believe in murder. He literally, like, is the worst person, and he tries to match me, like, and it's like nothing would give me greater pleasure than, like, I guess slitting his throat. So, like, I'm not gonna, like, ever do such a thing, but, like, I called my mom and, like, I threatened, like, to kill her, and I threatened to slit her wrist, and I threatened to, like, burn down her house, and, like, I said a bunch of that, like, quite frankly, like, I've never felt better.
Nobody talks about pedophilia. It's the big secret. And it's widespread.
Oh, yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves around this group of kids. And they all had either their own power or connections to great power in the entertainment industry.
That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick. I'm dropping dimes tonight.
Okay, well, that's our show. I gotta go get my parents. They're allowed. See ya. Court dismissed.
Ladies and gentlemen, free and independent.
You're listening to Controversy Radio with your hosts, Jesse and Celicia.
Masters of war, built to destroy. You play with my